Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Known Classics. This is episode number 3047 and Doubleshot number 2941. We got two trades from Dark Horse Comics, both written by writers who have been writing these characters since the 1980s. Well, actually, almost since the 90s. But first up we have is the long-running Usagi Yojimbo. Yep, more Usagi stuff here. This collects issues 7 to 30 of Usagi Yojimbo Volume 3, published by Dark Horse Comics. Yep. And also collects Usagi Yojimbo Color Special 4, stories from the Art of Usagi Yojimbo number 1, and that's it. So these issues published a period of 96 to must be like 99-ish. Yes. So this is the 2021 edition of the book. So one thing this book has is a story called Grass Cutter. The Grass Cutter one is basically Usagi finding this legendary sword Grass Cutter. Is this wooden sword he finds buried in ants. It's a subplot in one of the stories, but the story is really good here. There's also a story involving him watching a lord's son whose mother does not technically want to grow up, basically have a childhood. He wants to have a normal child instead of being basically forced to be raised as the heir to a shogun. There's some stuff with Gin here, his rhino bounty hunter friend. Just a lot of really good stories here. It's just a small sample of the awesomeness that is Usagi Yojimbo. I definitely do recommend checking this out because this book is fantastic. The thing about Santa Sky is he does not publish a bad story related to this character. I'm going to give this book a 10 out of 10. But the stories we have here are, besides Grasscutter, of course, we have seasons which stories are The Withered Field of Promises. Oh, by the way, there's also this evil entity thing you want to kill people. Promises No, Conspiracy of 8. Yeah, also Usagi kisses a girl in the book. Conspiracy of 8, Snakes and Blossoms, The Courage of Plum, The Crossing, Patient with Spider, Lord of Owls, The First Tenant, The Okajiro of the Gushu Clan, Great Green Persimmon. Also featuring here is stories involving Tomoe and her lord. There is the Grass Hunter storyline, which went on for, oh my gosh, this went on for about almost 10 issues. It was really good. There's the Great Shadows. Its stories are My Fire Swords, A Demon Flute, Momo Uzutaro, The Hairpin Murders, The Courtesan. This actually was not. This is one of the stories I was talking about. They also have a story involving this swordsman who's been challenging these various sword masters, and basically the students that wanted to machine in school, so he practically took out 15 of his students in one go here. Yeah, basically you have Tomoe, who's also Usagi's love interest, Usagi himself, Gin, Osama, who is basically a new character they basically put in the book, Kasara Chozu, and G, that's this guy here. But all in all, great book. Just check the book out. Book is fantastic. Basically, what I just talked about here, it's a lot of really, really good stories. And I do have the very next volume right next to me. I'm going to read that soon. And when I finish that, I'll review the first 75 issues of this book. Yep. Next, there was another character who's one of the very few characters still done by the same guy. One of three. The other two, of course, being Stan Sakai, and also Eric Larson, who still does Savage Dragon this very day. He's been a character since the early 90s. This basically was published on the same period of time. Though, it's not like an ongoing series for Hellboy. He's mostly a series, a miniseries. He's had a few ongoing. B.P.R.D, the organization he works with, they've had a longer ongoing series that went on for, oh my gosh, almost 10 years. Which actually was 10 years. More like about 12-ish. That actually concluded. For some reason, also featured Hellboy being found after he even died in one of his miniseries, Hellboy in Hell. But this book in particular, this is Hellboy and The B.P.R.D. 1953. This is one of his early stories. This is basically early adventures of Hellboy. But it wasn't until very recently. Mike Mignola does the writing here, obviously. The stories are The Phantom Hand, Rawhead and Bony Bones, The Witch Tree, Copy, which the stories, this one here is done by Mike Mignola, art by Ben Sabak. The Wandering Souls, we have Mike Mignola and Chris Robertson doing the writing with Michael Walsh doing the artwork. Beyond the Fences, Mike Mignola and Chris Robertson with Paul Rubia. Yep. Paul Revere, excuse me. Plus, of course, you can't deny the fact Mike Mignola, I think he still does the covers. Yes. And these were like The Phantom Hand and Copy, that was a one-shot. Witch Tree was a one-shot. Beyond the Fences was a mini-series. Wandering Souls is actually from the Winter Special from 2016. Yes. So this is basically early adventures of Hellboy. Him deal with like various different stuff from the past. Him have these really good stories here. Now in the case of what happens with the first story here, The Phantom Hand, it's basically him at this mansion in England in the early 50s where he's trying to basically solve this age-old murder. It's a very, very good story here. And then, of course, he's wearing a B.P.R.D. t-shirt and wearing his classic coat he wears. Occasionally, the coat would have the sleeves that have a tear in it. Occasionally, it won't. Depends on who's drawing it. But the artwork, I think this is the same artist who worked on the Witchfinder book, given how this character's drawn here. Witchfinder is a character from this universe who I think is from like 19th century England. We have a bunch of supernatural stuff here. Yes. And there's a tease of him, of Hellboy, for a future Hellboy, but they don't delve into it all. Rawhide. When do these take place? Now, in the case of the first story, Phantom Hand, this takes place in, the date for this one is February 1953. Rawhead and Bony Bone, this is 1 month later. It's basically a story told at a bar, as most of it about a bar. The Witch Tree is this is like a few months into the year 1953. Witch Tree is in April 1953. Fires, all this other stuff here. What about the very next story per se? Wandering Souls. That's set in November of 1953, where it's basically, the best way to describe this one, it's similar to The Thing, but it's like Thing is like trapped in like a version of like Alaska in the 50s. That's basically what the story is. And Beyond the Fences, which love this cover. This does not look like a Mike Mignola cover. This is a different person's cover. Beyond the Fences. This is set in December of 1953. So it's like the stories here themselves all the whole year 1953, but this says stories set there per se. And this one basically him is talent 50s, solving a series of supernatural murders. And that's kind of basically, it's like a lot of good action here per se, but just really good stuff here. Mike Mignola has excellent storytelling here with this one. Then we have a sketchbook in here, and that's it. Yeah, excellent stuff. I give this book here also a 10 out of 10. Yes, I do enjoy reviewing Hellboy. I review a lot of his other stuff. There's Hellboy Omnibus, I picked up Barnes Noble, where they cover pretty much every single main Hellboy miniseries, one shot. Yeah, that had been all but one. There's actually one published in that B.P.R.D. book. I had one review B.P.R.D., but getting hands on a trade has been difficult. But this Hellboy thing, I actually was very lucked out at. There was actually a local bookstore I just happened to have this thing. And thanks to some store credit I had, I was able to get it no problem. yeah, I actually traded some books in, got some store credit, got this book basically for nothing. But happy to get it because basically I love Hellboy and I like talking Hellboy. Yep. But yeah, this particular review, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit that dislike button. Next up, we have us another comic corner. I think I might be able to go through it. Yes. So, next view. Bye.